Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if you're new here, you're also welcome. Kindly subscribe, share, and like my videos. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you the simplest method in making this two-piece outfit. I made use of an Ankara print fabric, and the amount of fabric I used for both the top and the shirt is 3 yards. So I'll start by making the top. I folded the fabric into two, and I further folded it into two again. So I practically folded the fabric into four, making sure that I left about 1 inch sewing allowance on this side before the fold. And this 1 inch is for the joining the center of the front piece. To do the widest of the fold you need, you divide your hip circumference by 4, then you add about 6 inches extra to that. In most cases, some ladies' bust circumference is larger than the hip circumference. So in this case, you'll just be working with the bust circumference. There won't be need to work with the hip circumference. But in my case, my hip is larger than my bust, so I'll be working with my hip circumference. Alright, the next step is to rule a starting line which will also serve as the shoulder line. So for the neck depth, I went in by 1 inch from the shoulder line. I'll be using this neck depth for both the front piece and back piece for now. Now the neck width I used is 4 inches. I connected the 2 points together. For a plus size person, your neck width should be 5 inches. So I went ahead to extend the neckline to the center of the front piece, which had the 1 inch allowance. To get the shoulder slope, I divided my shoulder measurement by 2, which I had 7 inches. And any additional measurement that comes after this point is for the sleeve length. So I made my sleeve length to be 8 inches. For a plus size person, maybe you can do 10 inches so it isn't too short. On this point, I would place my tape vertically to mark 1 inch, which will be connected to the neck width as shown, and this would be the shoulder slope. To get my sleeve opening, I placed my tape vertically from the tip of the shoulder slope to mark 8 inches. For a plus size person, you should mark 10 inches. To mark the full length of this top, I placed my tape vertically from the shoulder to mark my hip line. And the reason is because the hem of the top sits directly on the hip line. So the hip line is 24 inches. I added extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance, which made it 25 inches altogether. So on this hip line, I'll be placing my hip circumference divided by 4. But if your bust circumference is larger than your hip circumference, this is where you are going to be placing your bust circumference by 4 instead of your hip measurements. So after marking a circumference, I added extra 3 inches sewing allowance to that. So I extended this line to the sleeve opening. Then I connected the 2 points together. I made a curve around this region so I can conveniently secure the armhole. The next thing I did was to add half-inch sewing allowance to the top of the shoulder slope, in which I'll be attaching both the front piece and the back piece. Now I'll be trimming out the neckline for the front piece. I placed my tape from the shoulder line vertically to mark 4 inches. For a plus size person, you should mark about 6 inches. So I connected these points to the neck width as shown. So this is the front piece of this top, and to know where I want my slit to begin, I placed my tape vertically from the top of the shoulder, assuming that I had secured the shoulder by half-inch already. My waistline is 15.5 inches. I deducted 1 inch and that was 14.5, so I marked 14.5 inches. I took the pieces to the sewing machine to make a straight stitch from this top of the neckline down to this waist point, and from that point to the hem would be the slit opening. You should have your front piece looking exactly like this. You can take this to the overlocking machine to secure the sides. So to secure the slits, what I did was to fold the slits by half inch and further folded it by half inch. I would make a straight stitch following the direction of my finger. The next step is to place the front piece directly on the back piece. To secure the shoulder slope by half inch, I would use a bias tape to secure the neckline. The next step is to fold the sleeve opening by half inch and further fold it by half inch, then make a straight stitch. I'll do the same for the other sleeve openings. To mark the side slits, I placed my tape from the hem vertically upwards to mark 5 inches, and I did the same for the other side. Alright, now I took this to the sewing machine to make a straight stitch from the armhole down to this point. I'll do the same for the other side. I went ahead to spread the top open so I can easily secure the side slit by folding it half inch and further folding it in by half inch. Following the direction of my finger. I'll do the same for the other slit. The final step is to secure the hem of the top by folding it in half inch and further folding it in by half inch. Alright guys, so I am done making the top. To make the shirt, I folded this fabric into two, and to know the wideness of the fold, I divided my hip circumference by 4 and added about 4 inches. So the first step is to rule the starting line. I placed my tape vertically downwards to mark 2 inches. So from the starting line to the second line I marked will be the folding in which the elastic will be passed into. I placed my tape from the waistline vertically downwards to mark the full length of the shirt. The full length of the shirt is 16 inches. So I added extra 1 inch sewing allowance to the hem, which made it 17 inches altogether. I placed my tape from the waistline vertically to mark my hip line. My hip line is 9 inches. For these particular shirts, I won't be using the waist circumference because it has an elastic on the waistline. So what I did was to divide the hip circumference by 4 and placed it on the waistline. And on the hip line, I'll be placing the hip circumference divided by 4 to connect both points together. To mark the crotch depth, I placed my tape on the hip circumference to divide it by 2 and further divide it by 2 again. So I practically divided it by 4. I had 2.3 which I marked vertically downwards from that point and also marked it horizontally from this point and connected it together. Now I'll be using a French curve to connect it to the hip line as shown. On the M line, I'll be placing my thigh circumference. My thigh circumference divided by 2 is 11 inches. So I'll connect this point to the crotch extension as shown. The next step is to add half-inch sewing allowance to the sides. To get the back piece of the short, I folded the fabric into two and I placed the front piece directly on it, keeping a distance of about 3 to 4 inches. Recall that what we measured in getting the crotch depth was 2.3 inches. So this 2.3 inches, I'll place it by the side of this fold to mark 2.3 inches all through. Now I'll trim out the back piece. So obviously you could see that the back piece is larger than the front piece, and this is how it should be because I've gotten so many comments saying after cutting my shirt or trouser, the back piece was wider than the front piece. That is actually the way it should be. Now I'll be making a straight stitch from the crotch extension to the waist by half inch for both the front piece and the back piece. To know where I would attach my pockets, I'll place my tape from the waistline as shown to mark 4.5 inches to notch this point. So I had 4 pieces of this pocket ready. I placed each of them directly on the notched point to secure it to the sides of the shirt by half inch. I'll do the same for the back piece of the shirt. After securing all pockets together, the next thing I did was to place the front piece directly on the back piece as shown to pin the sides together. And because the front piece is smaller than the back piece, I adjusted the sides together to make it equal. I went ahead to pin the crotch opening together, making sure that the joining meet each other. I took this to the sewing machine to make a straight stitch following the direction of my finger by 1 inch. Now for the crotch opening, I'll be securing this by half an inch. So I flipped the shirt to the right side of the fabric, and the next thing I did was to fold in the 2 inches sewing allowance I included at the top of the waistline, in which the elastic will be inserted into. So I'm just going to stitch the waistline all through so I get to the other joining at the center back. Then I'll be leaving a space of about 1 inch in which the elastic will be passed into. So I've secured the waistline. To know the length of the elastic, I placed my tape on the waistline. This is 19 inches. So that 19 inches, I'll be adding extra 5 inches to that, and that will be 24 inches altogether. So I'll be cutting the elastic length of 24 inches, which will be inserted into the waistband. Now I'll secure the two ends of the elastic band by half inch and insert it properly into the waistband, and also secure the hole in which the elastic was passed. The final step is to fold the hem of the shorts using a straight stitch. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the very end. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe, share and like my videos. Thank you.